I was running a little bit late, guys, but I see we've got 16 people in here. All right. Well, everything's been goofy tonight. Don't know what's going on. Well, anyways, I bet y'all's been looking forward to the live tonight on this one, I'm sure. This is going to be a probably one of the most in-depth ones I've done. I'm going to let everybody come on in that's going to be coming in because I sure don't want to start all over again. I've made so many notes. Check this out. So hopefully I can get my opinion out tonight. I was waiting to see if I was trying to get a hold of one of my moderators. It looks like he's probably busy. But hello, everybody. Hello, Lanita. Hello, Tunes. Joel, Double D, Red Tick Hound, Aussie Sue. It's good to see everybody. Tonight's going to be a more of my theory about the physical and the spiritual part of these creatures. Again, I'm not pushing this off on you all as I know everything or I'm teaching you all how it is. I am simply going to give you my opinion, my theory, and kind of show you all where I'm at and where kind of like where I come from, I guess. That would be more of a way of, I guess, explaining it. But we're going to let everybody climb on in. See what happens. Should be interesting tonight. I think it's probably going to go deep into, some of the ways that I believe, some of the ways that, I think things happen and stuff like that. I will be right back, guys. I got to grab a little bit more materials. Just 1 second. It seems like we just had a live, don't it, guys? Don't seem like it was that long ago. I got to get this off. All right. Oh, is Calvin in? There's Calvin. Hey, Calvin, I sent you a personal message. I don't think you got it, uh, but I did send you a message. It's a last minute request. I don't know if you're going to want to do it, if you're going to want to even be involved in this. But I sent you a last minute question. See what you think. He may not be able to. He may make a trip to Oklahoma, come after me. So, how many of y'all been looking forward to tonight's show and to see what I got going on? Uh, Calvin, I don't know if you heard me. I sent you a personal message on Messenger. Uh, you may make a trip down here to Oklahoma and come after me whenever you read what I sent you. But I've been kind of looking forward to tonight. I'm not sure where it's going to take us. I know it's probably going to get deep in here for sure. Uh, Probably real deep. Are y'all able to hear me okay? Is the sound good? I'm showing it's good. I want to make sure that y'all can hear me. Is everybody hearing me okay? All right, good. Thanks, Tunes. Uh, don't know if Calvin's hearing me. Hey, Calvin, check your personal message. I sent you a personal message. Hopefully, you got it. Hopefully. But yeah, tonight, guys, I want to talk about the spiritual and physical part, what I think's going on, what I think's not going on. Talk a little bit about, you know, why I think it's dangerous the way that some of the channels are teaching right now, and I think it's pretty dangerous that they're mixing a lot of things, and when you go to mixing things, it gets dangerous. Hello, Iris, and I don't know. So if there's any, I was talking to a guy the other night. Rest my eyes for a second. I was talking about getting females for bait and stuff like that, and was all joking and everything. But yeah, if there's any females in the Oklahoma area, northeast Oklahoma or whatever, that you know maybe can't run real fast, not good in the woods or whatever, if you'd like to go on a spook hunt, I could take you on a free one. Hey, Janice. Yeah, Janice is not telling everybody that we're live. I'll put a message out again. Hopefully, it'll let people know. But YouTube's doing that right now. They're not alerting everybody. I'm getting a lot of people that's, a lot of people just aren't getting notified. Let's see. Let everybody know we're live. I sure don't want to do this show again, guys. All right. But yeah, they haven't been letting everybody know that we're doing lives or even my videos or anything right now. So it's kind of been a pain. Yeah, Monster Radio. I'm just going to put my opinion out there on Monster Radio. That's all it is. There's channels out there that'll say, don't talk amongst yourselves, don't, do anything. Listen to me. I know everything. I'm an expert, and this is how it is, and this is how you're going to learn. And I encourage you all to talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to give you my opinion, my theory. That's all it is. It's my beliefs, and we'll see what you all think. And it's kind of how I investigate. Okay, Roger, you got one in half an hour. All right. Well, we are 14 minutes past. There's Brooks, and we don't have anybody that don't look like wants to be any bait. So I guess there goes the bait. Uh, Thank you very much, Lisa. I appreciate that. I agree, Calvin. I agree. All right. All right, we're up to 54 people. I'm fixing to get into it. I just did not want to have to go into this twice. I guess if I do, they can go back and rewatch it, right? All right, guys. Uh, uh, Anita says, let's hear it. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Uh, if I miss your questions right now, I'm not ignoring you. I've just got a lot of paperwork and a lot of things I want to put out to you. I got spirit versus the physical. My mom and her whole family, they had to deal with the dog man, Bigfoot, their whole lives. I grew up with it also, along with many of my cousins, aunts, uncles, in-laws, friends, etc., that have seen the same things over the years. At no time did we ever experience a portal. However, this is not to say paranormal events did not happen, because they did. And I will give my theory as to why I believe there was paranormal events that did happen at my granny's house. Again, I'm not saying they didn't happen. It's just not how some people out there, I believe, are teaching how it does happen. I have witnessed too many events that demonstrate to me that these creatures are no more than flesh and blood, with the possible DNA from the Nephilim giving them special attributes, characteristics, abilities, but none of which I believe are supernatural. In John 3:6, he says, "Flesh is born of flesh, but spirit is born of spirit. Flesh gives birth to flesh, but spirit gives birth to spirit. Flesh cannot be spirit, and spirit cannot be flesh," which means nothing can change from one to the other. So, in my belief, what Jesus is saying is you cannot be physical and manifest into something spiritual. You cannot go from something solid to something spiritual and then fly away, or, you know, dissolve or just go away. Jesus says it can't happen. That's where I base my investigations, is off of biblical studies. Uh, in Corinthians 15:42, the body is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption. It means being free of physical decay. It means that the bodies we're in right now are not glorified bodies. They do not have the ability to go into the other realm. Our bodies are not glorified. They are not perfect. They are born into sin. They are corrupt. They cannot do that. Since flesh cannot be spirit, and they don't have a glorified body, they cannot enter into the spiritual world or into a dimension where the spirit world exists. The second reason why I believe that they cannot do that is because, and this is one I think that y'all will really enjoy right here, all authority to open and to close doors lies with Jesus, Son of David. Isaiah 22:22, Revelation 3:7. He shall open and none shall shut, and none shall open. Again, Jesus is the only one that shall open, and he is the only one that shall shut it. No one else is able to open or to shut it. Then Revelations 3:7. He has full control and authority. God opens doors that are humanly impossible of the flesh. The flesh cannot open these doors. To open, remember, flesh cannot enter into the spiritual without having a glorified body. In John 3:13, no one has gone up to heaven except the one who has come down from heaven, the Son of Man. Only one person was ever able to go to the spiritual and into the physical. That was Jesus Christ. He had a glorified body. He's the only person that has ever received a glorified body that just came and went. God is and always has been in control of the portals. If you go through the Bible and you look, every portal that was ever opened was always guarded by and controlled by God. No other creature controlled it or allowed it. Demons cannot manifest into physical beings that can, that can become solid. Demons can corrupt and possess human bodies and animal bodies. Remember, they wanted a body so bad that whenever Jesus rebuked them out, they even begged Jesus, hey, can we go in to the swine? Can we go into the pigs? They wanted a body so bad that they begged Jesus, can we at least go into the pigs? But there's two things I want you to realize that happened here. Number one, they didn't just do it. They didn't open a portal and take off somewhere else. They didn't just run off and do what they wanted to do. They asked Jesus for permission, number one. They didn't do nothing without permission. And remember, he controls and was always in control of everything, and he's still in control of everything, and they asked him for permission. Number two, if they could have materialized or became something physical, they wouldn't have worried so bad about going into the pigs that they would have just left and materialized and turned into something physical and went on about their day. They begged for a body so bad that they wanted the pigs. They cannot do that. That is part of their punishment, is they are disembodied spirits. That's why they're called disembodied spirits. Yes, they ran off of the cliff. That's true, Red Tick Hound. And that's why they are disembodied. That was part of their punishment. They were stricken of the powers of the angels and of Jesus. There was things that did happen at my granny's. And I know a lot of things that happened at her house weren't all flesh and blood. Some of it was demonic. And it was taken care of with prayer and being rebuked in the name of Jesus. And like Glenna Sue just said, and she just nailed it right on it. I'm probably going to get into it a little deeper, but people are saying, whenever when they go out into the woods, I seen this creature. He came out of the smoke and he was in front of me, or I seen this portal, or I seen, this creature disappear, right? Remember, Satan is the great deceiver. He can show you whatever you want to see. You go out and you look for it, you believe in it, he'll show you what you want to see. But also remember, a magician can also make things appear to be what they are not. It's all an illusion, deception. It's a trickery. I believe the earth is somewhat the prison for these fallen ones. God cast them into the earth, and the earth is like their prison. The firmament is maybe the fence that holds these beings in. If not, why would they not leave? I mean, we could really go in really deep into that, but it's not going to go into why I'm trying to explain to y'all to why I believe, what I believe. You know, uh, I'm not saying that orbs don't exist. I've seen them, and others I have been with and investigated with have also seen orbs. I'm not saying they don't exist. What I'm saying is I don't believe that flesh and blood is transforming from one to the other or using this. It's the simple words of Jesus that says that they can't. Maybe the demons are following the cryptids because their blood, the connection of the blood between the Nephilim and the fallen ones, which would be the demons. They say that 25% of people that have a cryptid encounter will have a paranormal encounter. If approximately, and this to be true, if approximately 25% of the cryptid encounters cause a manifestation into a paranormal encounter, then it would be my thoughts that the two connected would be no different than an evil person or an object or something that has been brought into the home that has a connection with a familiar spirit that would haunt, possess, control, uh, persuade, influence. It would all be the same thing that would be connected to these beings because there would be that blood connection, which would sort of be that family connection. But if you use your uh, your faith as a Christian, not saying everybody's a Christian, I'm not pushing that off on y'all. This is simply my opinion, and I want to make that clear that I'm not pushing this off on anybody. This is my opinion. Y'all, I encourage y'all to speak, amongst yourselves, your opinions and stuff. That's how we're going to learn. But as far as this is my opinion. This is my theory. I'm not pushing it off on anybody. Uh, Going further, you know, there was a man in the field at my granny's house. He floated across the field. It wasn't human, not the way it moved, not the way that that you would expect a normal person to move. It was a ghost. It was a demon, and they they shot at it and was unable to hit it. That to me tells me that's a demon. That's not flesh and blood. Well, Janice, it would have to be flesh and blood to be able to run the DNA study on it. Yeah, it's a hypothesis. You're right. It's a hypothesis, also opinion. It's my opinion, hypothesis. I don't know what I believe. My belief. Uh, in Second Corinthians, even Satan disguised himself as an angel of light. He's able to deceive. He's able to trick you. He's able to be whatever he wants to be. Quantum physics. A lot of people blame a lot of this on quantum physics and say quantum physics is a possibility. Einstein himself famously rejected it, observing that God does not, play dice. And he even stated that quantum physics would play no bearing in anything in the world. He said that it had no relevance. And I'm pretty sure if Einstein couldn't figure it out, that I'm not going to figure it out for sure. And probably 95% of most people. People say that they've seen Bigfoot driving a spaceship and they've seen Bigfoot materialize and they've seen Bigfoot do all these miraculous things, but yet he lives in the woods and he eats out of trash cans. To me, it's just not logic. Uh, I believe that it's just not logical. Uh, I believe him to be blood of the Nephilim. I believe that the Nephilim has a big role to play in this. Uh, it just it doesn't make sense for it to be like that. And whenever to me, when Jesus says he opens doors and shuts doors that no man, no flesh can open, that pretty much sums it up to me. Now, I'm not saying that they're not connected. I'm not saying that demons don't follow these individuals. these cryptids. I'm not saying that there's not things out there that are happening that are, spiritual. I believe they are. I just don't believe that the flesh and blood are doing the things that people think they're doing as far as going through portals and stuff. Uh, I've looked at things that people sent me and they said, "Oh, look at this portal." And I went and looked at the portal and I showed it to other guys that are investigators that looked at the portal. We just didn't see the same thing. We saw what we've seen many times in the woods hunting. We have to be careful not to be deceived. And, we just, I believe that these creatures do have demons that are attached maybe to them that do follow them that can come home with you. And the reason being is Calvin. He's busy tonight. I don't know if he's able to hear the whole show. He actually goes out and hunts these for people on his own dime. And they just went out. And we're going to do a show with Calvin. I want you all to at least be in that, to come see that show. He is going to explain to you all some other things. I think it will give you all some clarity as to why I believe what I do, because he's having the same things happen to him in the field that is showing there is a spiritual, there is a physical, but they're not the same. Me and Calvin have actually talked really deep into this, and he's showing the same things that I'm seeing, and it just gives relevance to what I think is happening. Hello, Glenna. I see you made it tonight. She's an ornery one. She's for sure. Troublemaker. I don't know what she's doing right now. But never forget everything is God and always will be free. Will is only God shutting himself off in us for the control through his still there, even demons. Is still there, even demons. Okay. JD Smooth, I probably did get your emails. I may not have got back to you yet. I've been so swamped right now. Yes. I'm going to be working with Calvin a lot in the future. I'm hoping to do a lot of collaborating with him on his hunts and put his hunts with my hunts and kind of see if we're finding the same things in the field. He has an awesome field. Right, Lenita. I'm not saying that they're not out there. I'm saying that if they're out there and they're being used, then they're being used by the demons, not by Bigfoot, not by flesh and blood, not by Dogman or a werewolf going from solid to spiritual. I just don't believe that happens. I believe you're either one or the other, and you remain one or the other. And that's what Jesus said, and that's where I base my my observations, my investigations are stemmed from. If he says no, then to me it's no. I have to, again, Lenita, I have to follow Christ's word. That's where I'm at with it. We have to be careful. A lot of people. I'll give you an example. I had a general, and he worked in the United States Coast Guard. And one of his things, and he was a very renowned general. He done a lot of investigations. He had been to the courts a lot, and he dealt with the terrorists. And one of the things he told me is somebody can tell you such and such done this, such and such done that. And the first thing he said, I'm going to ask you, did you see it? Did you witness it? And was you there? If you wasn't none of those three, he said, I'm going to take you at 50% of your face value. We have to be careful what we believe, what we're told, as to what we see, and as to what we feel, and as to what we observe. Now, you're going to have people that you're going to trust more than other people. Everybody does. You're going to have that close connection to that brotherhood. The ones that you're going to know, if he tells me something, he's going to be 70% correct. Nobody's going to be 100%. Calvin has been in actual firefights for this country. And he will tell you in the moment, everybody sees something different. Not one man is going to see the same thing. It will always be something different that everybody sees, and that's just how the body works under extreme uh, stress. It's typical, it's common, it's expected, and that's why we have to be careful when somebody tells us, I seen something go through this tunnel and it disappeared, and then you got this other guy saying, well, I seen it too. Fear can play a huge factor into what people believe they seen and what really happened. Now, not saying what somebody believes they seen that they didn't believe it. They will really believe what they believe they seen, but it doesn't mean that it really happened. And he's exactly right here. False Garen is perception is different with everybody under high stress, fight or flight. What you're going to do. There is people out there, officers, soldiers. You get into a firefight, they cannot pull the trigger on their weapon. You can train and train them and train them. They can be head of their class. They can strip the gun, put the gun back faster than anybody. You go to the shooting range, they'll shoot 99% all day long, outshoot everybody. But you put them in a real life situation, they cannot perform, and they will perform differently. I've seen it. I know it happens. I was an FTO as a field training officer. These are things that I experienced, that I seen on the job, not things I was told, things I seen. Again, special delivery. Where we have to be careful is what we're believing is the files from the CIA. And what you're saying is everything happened. The project was the human mind that created a portal, right? But what you have to understand is look how many people on the same conversation are going to say, you can't trust the government. The government tells us that these beings don't exist. It's a cover up. They're hiding it. And then we go and we say, well, they said this in the CIA files. We can't pick and choose things that we believe. Either we're going to believe what the government tells us or we don't believe what the government tells us. I believe that we need to go back to what we see, what we had experienced, and what we can prove has actually happened. Uh, it just it's something. If it doesn't happen to you, I just don't believe you can sit there and say 100% this is what's happening. I know as an investigator, if I go to court and I'm sitting there, exactly, special delivery, exactly, and I go to court and there's a judge sitting in there, and I pull my weapon out and I tell the judge, I pull my weapon and I say, man, I fired 7 times, and I felt, and he says, okay, well, how sure are you fired 7 times? Well, I fired 7 times. I'm trained, that whenever I'm firing my weapon, that I count my shots. That way I'm able to, know when to reload, know when my magazine's low on ammo. Do you think the judge is going to believe that I fired 7 shots? Or do you think he's going to request my gun and my magazine that was in my gun during the shooting to be brought into the courtroom? And then another detective that went over the gun, that inventoried the gun, that found the spent shell casings at the scene, how many was left in the magazine, and then tell you how many bullets were fired. Because in the heat of the moment, odds are I'm not going to be right with how many bullets I fired because you have too many other things happening. Is it justifiable? Your target? What's beyond your target? Is it safe to even fire your weapon? Is that the most probable weapon to use at the time? Does it need to be deadly force? Is there another way to do it? There are so many things that are happening in a split second. Same as when you see one of these creatures in the woods. They don't just stand there and let you look at them. They're moving. It's happening all at once. And it causes different things. I think that I think Jeff is doing better. I pray for him every night. I haven't seen him in here tonight. I don't like that. It's like taking the validity of a testimony and attributing it to other things. Then anybody can say to you, You believe you saw a Bigfoot. Yeah, I believe that we need to question it every time. I think that whenever somebody asks us or says, hey, I seen a Bigfoot. Calvin, for example, he goes out into the field. Before he ever goes to a house, he'll ask them, okay, you said you saw a Bigfoot, but I need you to show me at least evidence to support the idea that it may be there. He doesn't just go on hearsay. He goes whenever he has enough proof to have reasonable suspicion or at least probable cause to be able to spend his money to go there. I mean, we see things every day that we can, think is something that it's not. And everybody does it. I mean, your best officers do it. Everybody does it. It's just, I think that in the way to find the truth, and again, as an investigator, I've done it for 8 years. I was a captain, and I won almost every. I lost 3 cases, and the reason they say that I had such a high case rate is because you have to be willing to step on toes to be able to find the truth. If you follow along with what everybody says, you'll get burned so many times in court. I learned that. I've seen that. You go to court, somebody tells you something, and then they say, well, I can't prove it happened. I mean, I was just telling him, well, and then I'll turn into, well, I think that's what it was. And when you start thinking and you start second guessing yourself in court, you might as well hang it up. Hey, Shade Viking, it's good to see you tonight, man. I agree with you. I love hearing other people's theories, opinions. Uh, you know, that's how we learn, is everybody putting everything together. Uh, there is no experts in the field, and the only way we're going to learn is for all of us to work together to share what we have seen, and not to be like these other people that's out there that are putting fake things out. I hate when they put fake stuff out. That hurts the community so much. It really hurts us when somebody puts something fake out. If we could all share, what we're actually seeing, and be honest with each other, it would be so much easier to work together. And then everybody, you got this site gets mad at this site because they don't believe what this site, I think it's goofy. I think everybody should get along. I think we would get a lot further. But whenever you start believing you know everything and you call yourself an expert, you've already lost. It really hurts us. Brooks, it makes us all look bad when they do that. And I hate when people do that. Yes, false. That is right. Thank you very much, Glenn. I always said whenever I opened this, I wasn't going to follow the crowd, and I wasn't going to do what everybody was doing. That's not why I'm here. I want to find the truth. I want to dig deep. I want to, even if it takes us, and as much as, I'd hate it, but even if it took us to, I don't know, say that all these things were not even there. They were figments of our imagination. As much as I would hate that, and knowing what I've seen and what you all have seen, I mean, if that's where the evidence takes us, that's where we have to follow it. And that's why I'm here. Yes, Lenita. Yep, there's no experts. It's more fun investigating, and being truthful. You're going to find the truth. Hey, Ruben, good to see you, man. I knew you'd make it in here. It's good to see you. But that's just, I wanted to share my opinion with you guys. I see a lot of you all, you put your opinions out there, and I thought it would be fair for me to show you all, where I'm coming from. I'm about to thirst to death. It's so hot here in Oklahoma today. I agree with you, Anna Maria. Romans 1:16, exactly. And that's where I have to go. If Jesus said it didn't happen, it can't happen, then in my book, it didn't happen and it can't happen. Oh, hey, special delivery. Hey, I appreciate that, Shade Viking. Like I said, it's just my theory. It's my opinion. It's what I base it on, and that's what I've been, doing so far. And that's a lot about how I do investigate. All right, and Lanita, I appreciate your opinion and your theory. We're all going to have different ones, and that's why I wanted to put mine out there so that you all would know, where I'm actually coming from and where my investigations stem from. uh, I think that if there is, it will take something a lot bigger than us out there investigating it. I think that eventually it may happen to where they don't have a choice but to come clean. But I think whenever they do, they'll probably institute laws that's going to protect them liability wise when they do come out. That way they can say, well, we're going to come out with this, but there's already law that's going to protect them to where they're not going to be sued or held accountable for things that's happened. But these are very dangerous and they are no joke. And I am so glad you're telling the truth, brother. I've encountered these things. They will kill you. Yes, JD, they will kill you. There's no doubt they've done it. They've done it multiple times. Special delivery, don't worry, man. You should see my typing. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm typing. Most of my field work has been in Oklahoma and Tennessee. If you make a guess, then you're right about where I've done investigations. Yeah, I'm sure you've encountered quite a few things. That's two hot states for sure. Yeah, Anna Maria, that's another thing you need to watch when you are out investigating is the wild animals. Uh, Demons actually make more sense. The word just scares us until we don't want to think about it. Exactly, Janice. A lot of people, I think, feel safer saying these animals go spiritual, back to normal, back to spiritual, because it is a safer world. Nobody likes the word demon because, well, we just know what they are and where they come from, and it's a scary thing. And Janice, I'm not going to go deep into why you say that, but Janice has a very good reason for saying what she says, and hopefully we'll tell Janice a story someday. Hopefully, if I keep poking at her. Paula, that's very true. People do get mad whenever you use Jesus into the equation, but he knows all. I mean, he's King of Kings, and if he says that's how it is, then that's how it is in my book. Very true, Shade. Very true. Hey, Sunshine. You know, I've got a, solo camp I'm going to be doing when it dries up. I'm looking really forward to doing that. I'm working on this other huge investigation. It's taking a lot of my time, but I felt this was an important live to get out. I usually don't do two lives in a month, but I felt like I really needed to get this one out. It just I can't wait to get this other one out. I'm investigating on. Y'all are going to love what's coming, no doubt. Y'all are going to. It's going to blow your mind. Our channel is going to really stick out, guys, whenever we release this one. We'll get there, Janice. We'll get there. Hey, Brandy, glad you made it. Yeah, Lisa, I believe that. That's where I stand. Wow, JD, that would be really crazy. I wonder if a way around that would be to be cleat certified and go. I know as a police officer or law enforcement officer, you can carry your weapon in a lot of states. That might be a way around it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't take my word on that, but it might be something to look into. Mike, what happened to the life that was supposed to be the Girl Scout continuation. I'm sorry, I just got here. Mike, what happened to the world? Oh, we talked a little bit about that the other night, Ruben. Uh, yeah, there. I've done a few on it. I don't know if you've seen them all, Ruben. I have a playlist on the Girl Scout murders right now on my channel where you can go watch all of them that I've done. We spoke a little bit about it on the live, and it's pretty cool. I seen Calvin pop up some. There he is. Calvin's pretty busy tonight. Calvin says he's going to we're going to get his full attention now. Hey, Calvin, I was saying that you have investigated, on some of your hunts and stuff that have shown that these things are not spiritual and flesh and blood, that they are definitely two different things with one thing following the other. Does that sound right? Is that a good way for me to put it, what you've experienced? We're putting Calvin on the spot a lot tonight, guys. Again, Bigfoot, Littlefoot, I would just say, as far as me, my opinion, I would just be careful that it was not a deception. That's the only thing I would just warn you about. Hello, Sunshine. Red Tick Hound. Lisa, I'm very excited to release it. Janice says, if you don't hurry up and tell us what you have found, I'm possibly going to explode. How many people here are with me? Sorry, Janice, I can't. If it wouldn't jeopardize the safety of somebody, I would tell y'all, but it's something that could cost somebody their life. Again, on the private account, I mean, he may have pictures of it. I wasn't there. I didn't see it, so I'll take it at 50% value. Pictures that we all know can be changed, filtered. I'm a hard head on that, and I go by what Jesus said. Jesus said that what he closes and what he opens cannot be opened or closed. So that's where I have to stay with that. I mean, Jesus hasn't let me down this far in my life. He's protected me, blessed me, and given me more and ran my cup over. And I just know that that's the way for me and for me. Yeah, false. I don't believe that he is a regular animal. I believe he does have a high intelligence. If he does come from the fallen Nephilim, it's going to be like that. I don't believe he's a regular animal. Also, I agree with you 100%. There's Calvin. He said, yeah, the physical and spiritual both are out there, and if you keep hunting them, then you'll experience them both. Do you agree, Calvin, that they're different, that they're not the same, that one follows the other, that one is not manifesting into the other? Do you agree with that? Hold on. I just gave it all out private account. I gave scripture and everything with them. I'd have to go back through the paperwork. See if I can find this for you real fast. You may have to go back, so I'm not holding everybody up trying to find it, and look for that private account. Revelations 3:7. Start there, private account. Revelations 3:7. Start with that one. I didn't miss you, Calvin, on your answer, did I? About you believe that they are different entities, that they're not the same. Sunshine, are the shifters on both sides or just spiritual? My elders said the animals are of the giants, but I don't know if that is supernatural or physical. Perhaps both, two different kinds. Okay, Sunshine, I don't believe that spiritual can be physical. I believe that they are separate kinds. Uh, I believe that you're either one or the other. You're either a demon or you're flesh and blood. Uh, I came from my grandpa was full blood Cherokee, and they believed in a lot of the stories also. But as he become to know, to know Christ, and he did know Christ, he explained a lot of the same things too. That uh, trickery happened a lot back then, and deception. There's Calvin. He says, and even Calvin says they are different. They're not the same. So, he's finding the same thing in the field. He's a 101st Airborne. He has a military team that hunts these cryptids with him, very trained personnel. And I'll guarantee you, Calvin to tell you, whenever they go up against these things, not everybody sees the same thing. It just doesn't happen. And I'm drunk and I'll get banned, so I stop in to like the video. Ban everything. You're funny. You have a good night. And each physical and spiritual are extremely dangerous. I agree, Calvin. I would even say that the spiritual is more dangerous, I think, than probably the flesh. Uh, you know, if you lose a spiritual war and you go to hell, that's eternity. If we die, by the flesh, then we're saved and we have the grace that we have eternity in heaven. Yeah, for sure, JD Smooth. I'm going to have that car backed in, full of gas, 4-wheel drive on. Uh, nah, but yeah, I'm going to have an escape plan. I'm going to have some CB's cell phone in case I don't have reception. I need to find, somebody make some good bait. Yeah, and Calvin knows just as well as when you're in a high stake situation that's just what happens. Everybody sees something different, and it doesn't mean everybody's lying. Investigators expect that to happen even in firefights. Sunshine, a coyote that's been hunting toddlers in broad daylight. Where are you from, Sunshine? If you're having really bad trouble with something like that, you might be able to contact Calvin depending on where you're at. And Calvin may be able to help you, Sunshine. Uh, he's really good with stuff like that. Yeah, Calvin's dealt with some really strange stuff. He's had one of his friends had something follow him home. Yes, that is a bad thing, Charlotte. That's asking for trouble and borrowing trouble. I don't think they're slipping in through any portals in the woods. I think they're just becoming lost. If you've ever been lost in the woods, Anna Marie, it can be pretty scary. It can really mess with your senses. I've been lost before when I was younger, and I panicked. I mean, I absolutely panicked, and you feel like you are in a different place. That things are weird. It's very scary. Okay, Sunshine. Could you email me at this email me the sign email address I'm going to post? It should be popping up. Just email me, and I'd like to hear more about that. Yeah, Calvin also, if he can help you. I agree, JD, that they would be. They would carry the same blood, and I believe that's why you have the physical flesh and blood that attracts the demons, the disembodied. Is because of that blood. I believe there's that attraction, and that's why 25% of people that have the flesh and blood encounter also have the paranormal encounter because the paranormal was attached to the flesh and blood, and I think that that's scary as hell. Special delivery. They didn't lose all their abilities, but they were stricken of some of their abilities. For instance, they're disembodied. They're not allowed to have a body. They're not allowed to manifest into a physical body. We know Jesus allowed his angels to manifest into physical bodies because they were allowed to eat with people. The demons were never allowed to do that. If you notice, they don't have that ability. They have to possess or steal a body to kill, steal, or destroy. So yeah, there's a difference there, I believe. I think, Glenna, yeah, I believe that if the demons here are using portals, then I believe it is just the demons doing it, that the flesh and blood cannot enter into it, that is a spiritual side only. And I agree with you on that part. I really do. I believe that that's probably really close to what's happening. Wow, that's very interesting. Check out that Calvin, what I just put up, what's happened to her. So y'all are getting to see how hard headed I am tonight about this. That's something. Hello, Marquetta. It's good to see you. I've always been called a hard head. I've had even my judges and superiors always called me a hard head because if I can find facts, I like to stick with facts, and I put the Bible as fact. I believe that the biblical principality of the Bible is fact. No, that was it. That was it. That was my opinion. That was my theory. You all heard it. I could, I guess, I'll autograph all my work I put into this tonight, and I'll sign it and I'll send it to the 500,000th like or the millionth member. I don't know, not really, but yeah, that's it. I done all that for you guys tonight to explain my theory. You're talking about Scott Carpenter, right? Private account. I looked at some of Scott's work. I looked at the gosh, I'm going to catch grief on this again. It's a theory. I looked at Scott Carpenter's work. I looked at the portal that he believed that he caught. I personally do not believe it was a portal. I examined that video. I sent it in to some detectives that are friends of mine that still work. They work cases, murder cases, state cases. These guys are top of the top. There was no portal there, in my opinion, or in their opinion. It was a light refraction through the trees that was causing undergrowth and overgrowth to produce what looked like a circular tunnel, which happens a lot in a lot of those paths and in the areas of sunlight and everything. So I would have to agree with them after looking at how they put it, the filters, the highlights, and everything. To me, it was not a portal. I don't believe that portals are used like that. Again, I refer back to Jesus, what he said, that nothing in flesh can open what he is, opened or closed what he's closed. And I didn't see it. And I'm not saying that, I'm not calling him a liar. I mean, he may have seen what he's seen and believes that he saw what he saw. I would never do that. But just in my opinion, I don't believe that's what that was. I am, Glenna. I am. MRL, I try not to, I try not to come across and, hurt people's feelings or call them liars or anything. It's just, my opinion that's not what was there. I try to do it, professionally and, without, I think spirited debate's fine, but I try to be careful how you know, I just don't believe that's what he's seen, or I not the what he's seen. I believe that he believes that's what he's seen, but I personally do not believe that's what was there. Thank you, Janice. I was hard headed enough that I got Janice Blake's attention. Are you paying me because you like what I said, Janice, or is that paying me to shut up? Janice is a great lady. I've spoke to her on the phone many times. She's a very smart lady. She's definitely a professional. I have the utmost respect for her. She's very intelligent. She's helped me out many times. Thank you so much, Janice. You're a wonderful lady, and I appreciate you so much. And I hope you really know that. It's good to have different opinions. I agree, Sheila. It is. It's good. We should, different opinions is how we learn. Thank you, Janice. That means a lot coming from you. We may have to have Janice on the show some night. We may just start having to have me some co-hosts. I'll have Janice and Calvin on as my co-hosts. That would be interesting. Military, psychologist, and an investigator. Where could that go? Yeah, MRL. I'm not doubting that something wasn't walking down the path. I believe that there could have been something on that path. I'm not discounting that. I believe that there could have been something on that path, but I believe as far as the portal, I don't believe there's enough evidence there to say to support that there was a portal there. Just again, my opinion, respectfully. That's right. Private accountant nailed that. I tried to talk to Jeff Nadolny, asking him a simple question. I was questioning one of his lives that he had, and he got mad and attacked me. He cussed me and blocked me, and what I asked him wasn't even nothing bad. It was just he had mentioned something about Victor and some paperwork, and I was familiar with the paperwork that he was talking about. And I asked him to supply me with something. I'm not going to say what it was, but it was something that would prove to me that it was authentic. And he refused to even show it to me, take a photograph of it or anything, because I could have known in an instant if what he was talking about and if Victor was real, because I deal with that and I have people that deal with that on a daily basis. And he totally refused to send it. He cussed me, blocked me, and has blocked every account that I have. And I hate that he done that because I used to watch him. I don't anymore, because if you're not going to stand up and have a spirited debate about the things that you believe in, willing to fight for it, take it to court to prove it, at least try it, and you're just going to hide behind, I'm going to block you, like the experts over there, the Bigfoot experts, they'll block you. They won't talk to you. They won't have the discussion. They're always right. Listen to us. Don't talk. You're not going to learn nothing, guys. That's more of a cultism than it is a learning. And that's why I tell you guys, I encourage you guys to talk on here. I encourage your opinions, your theories. I love it. I love listening to you guys. I read every email. I try to read every question. Yeah, private account. I heard a little bit about that. Marquette, I appreciate that very much. Thank you a lot. That means a lot. I see you a lot anymore on my videos, and I sure appreciate your support and stuff. I see you a lot. Thank you very much. Yeah, Brandy, I agree. If we're weak minded, we're not going to learn. And that's it, Brandy. They're afraid to be proven wrong. I like to be proven wrong. We learn something. I'm not going to read that one, but I'll put it up there. That's funny. I've heard about the 50% thing. I've never heard of the military using they use the same form for everything. No ID number on the paperwork. Yeah, Calvin, you caught on fast. And yep, that's exactly. And he would not prove any of that. He would not show any of that. And instead, he decided to cuss me and block me. The key, very good question, and yes, I do believe they can. I believe animals can be possessed. I don't know if you saw the video I done. I had a dog walking around in my front room that was possessed that me and my ex-wife had to get rid of. So I definitely believe that yes, they can possess the animals. Maud Zelma, uh, I appreciate that very much, and that's where I base it all. I believe in the Bible 100%. I believe in Christ's word, and that's where I try to go from because I try to base my investigations, off the rock and not the sand. And I think that's how we'll find the truth. Brandy's exactly right. A very good friend of mine, Steve, he's watching tonight. His wife, Lisa, and Steve told me, in order to be a good teacher, you have to be a good student. What's not working, Lane? There you go, right there. What Calvin's saying. There is a lot of creepy pasta to the channel. Uh, he puts out a lot, and a lot of his stuff I've researched, and I go through detectives and other things that I'm sure he doesn't have access to, and a lot of it cannot be substantiated. What he puts out. What is it? Somebody said. Let's see. There, I showed you a possession of animals that didn't go through. Yeah, the pigs were possessed. We know people get possessed also. So animals, people, yeah, I believe they can be possessed, no doubt. K Dog, I am going to go out here pretty soon. I'm going to do a solo overnight when it dries up, but I do have a place I'm going to be going to. I am working on a thing, K Dog. Uh, I've been going out in the field a whole lot. I'm working on a case right now. It's very, very dangerous, and I'm having to keep it tucked under wraps. A lot of people know about this. I have been out a lot, and I'm continuing to go out a lot. I just cannot show anything right now because if I did, some of the witnesses I'm talking to, their lives would actually be in danger. I am going to release that, and you'll see what I've been up to, and I think y'all will be very proud of what we're going to release. I believe it's going to blow your minds. But K Dog, there is some more stuff going to be coming out. I'm doing a short video. I think I've got time tomorrow or the next day. I'm not working on this other case, at least not in the field. And I want to show you all the area that I live in, the coal mines and stuff, to maybe give you guys an idea as to why maybe it is so active here. And I think you all will enjoy that. I hope you all enjoy that. If you all would like to see the area that I'm in and everything, let me know. Just type uh, yes, and I'll go out and show you all. the area in the daylight and maybe give you all an idea of what it looks like in the daytime. But K-Dog, yeah, there's some good stuff coming, man, I promise. Thank you very much, Lisa. All right. Yeah. Randy wants to see it. Paula wants to see it. This is what cracks me up. On the flashlights, my flashlights are pretty bright. They don't come through on the cameras real well. And the problem with me using really bright lights is I push so much of the cryptids back that it's hard for me to get any footage. So really, it's the less light, the more sounds I can get for you guys. But the more light is the less. Would somebody like to fill in, Roger, on what channel we've been talking about? Yeah, Calvin knows what case I'm working on. He's been part of the investigation with me, and he knows a whole lot about it. So what he's telling you here, when the case you're investigating gets uploaded, everybody's mind is going to be blown. I can't wait to see everyone's reactions. It's a huge case, guys. I'm blessed to be able to do it. K-Dog, thanks. I appreciate that, man. I'll be as safe as I can. Well, guys, I have held you over an hour tonight, and I didn't really expect us to go this long, really. That's what I told my husband. He keeps saying he's getting you a really good flashlights. I appreciate that, Brandy. But yeah, I do use some pretty good lights. I mean, they're bright to me. I know they're not bright to you guys, but you know, I'm afraid if I go too bright, I'm not going to hear anything because the brighter you go, it seems like everything goes back further. And my goal is to try to bring them in. We got a new account person, private account, became a YouTube member. Man, private account, we sure appreciate that. We got a lot of members joining. It keeps growing, and we appreciate the support. Private account, I appreciate you joining tonight and supporting this, man. It means a lot to us. Thank you very much. I don't know if they hunt each other or if it's more of a territorial fighting that they do. Hey, Paula, I enjoy every night with you guys. You know, I think that it's always a good student. I don't know how everything. I don't think I want to. I don't want to know everything at all. JD Smooth probably couldn't stand it. But any night I'm on with you guys, I do actually look at y'all as family. I believe we have good spirited debates. The way that we all accept each other's opinions and theories, I believe is amazing. I've seen other channels where people, have fought and argue, and it's ridiculous to where it goes. And I'm not mad at anybody out there. I'm not mad at nobody. We all have different opinions. I hate that I was cussed and blocked. I hate that, the Bigfoot expert blocked me. I had a lot of questions for him. I would have followed his shows and I would have asked him questions. I'm full of questions. I want to learn. But when they block me and they cuss me and they don't want to debate or defend their beliefs, then I just can't have any respect for that. Because if you're not willing to fight for what you believe in or fight for what you love, it just ain't worth it. It ain't worth it to me. Hey, I appreciate that private account. It helps a lot with us going out. Like I said, Calvin knows, because you all aren't seeing it, doesn't mean that I'm not going out. Calvin knows I'm making really far, trips. This case I'm working on now is really, really tough. It's took a lot of time. I haven't investigated anything like this since I was working, guys. I went really deep, and I've had several migraines over it. Calvin's tried to get a hold of me for a couple of days. I was down a couple of days, and the cryptid huntress, there she is. I like talking to her. She's a very nice, sweet lady. And I'm not saying that portals aren't real. I'm saying that I don't believe flesh and blood use the portals. I believe that portals were all controlled by God. They all through the Bible they were controlled by God. I'm not saying that demons and stuff don't use portals. I'm just saying flesh and blood don't, because Jesus said that flesh is flesh and spirit is spirit, and that's where I have to stay with it until I'm proven wrong. I'm open just like anybody else, and but that's my stance on it. Jesus said that no, no flesh can open what he opens, and no flesh can close what or open what he closes, or close what he opens. And I have to stay with that. But it's good to see you, the Cryptid Huntress. You're awesome. I enjoy being on your show. You're a great show to be on, and you're a great host. Hi, Rebecca. It's good to see you. But we had a pretty good time tonight, guys. I showed we had 186 people at one point. So yeah, that's a pretty busy night, and we held that for almost the full time. Uh, Calvin, he's out investigating. Uh, he knows it can get pretty expensive. It helps a lot. I agree, Paula. 100%. That's where I stay. Anytime, Jessica, you're a good friend. I really enjoy watching her show. I catch her show as much as I can. She has a really awesome show. She's a great host. Go over, check her show out, guys. Subscribe, support her. She's a really nice person. When you start letting the Bible limit what you think, that's where you start limiting your knowledge. The Bible does not have the answers to everything. In my, I would disagree. In my beliefs, the Bible is the answer to everything. The Word of God is the Word of God. I stand on that 100%. And the Bible is the Word of God. It is, to me, the Bible is truth, and that's where I'll stand. But I do respect your opinion, and but that's respectfully, that's where I stand. The Lord is first with me, and His Word is always truth. I agree, Sheila. It's supposed to storm tonight too, guys. We're supposed to be getting some storms around here. Uh, it hasn't started here yet, but it was clouded up. We could hear the thunder a while ago, so it's got to be getting close. So I'm sure a lot of you will probably get it after we get it and have got it before we got it. We had a woman that practiced dark magic over here. Do you think she started in coming over here with the animals? She unveiled or opened up a portal that caused a chain reaction. Sunshine, I don't think that when portals are opened that new creatures are brought in. And the reason I don't believe that is because in the Bible, we know that whenever Satan was thrown out of heaven, 1/3 of the angels were thrown out with him, which would be the demons. I don't believe there's any more monsters that can be brought, any more demons that can be brought. I believe there is what there is. Now, there could have been trillions of angels, trillions, and 1/3 of that would just be astronomical, how many demons there would be. I don't believe there's any more new creatures. Satan doesn't have the ability to create life, only God creates life. But I believe that with her practicing that kind of witchcraft and stuff like that, that it definitely can cause bad things to happen. It can cause familiar spirits, things like that to come around, and it's just a really bad thing. I wouldn't mess with any of that if I were you. Anna Marie, I'm going to. I hate storms. I hate the bad storms. I like the thunder and rain though. It's good sleep weather. I could sleep all day if it was just rain and thunder and lightning. Or go fishing. Oh, Sheila, that's true. We can't learn without asking questions. Uh, that's the only way that we will learn is to ask questions. And the Cryptid Huntress is right. Dark magic is not cool. It's not cool beans at all. That's an old phrase used back in the day. Cool beans. Yeah, I don't like tornadoes at all. Well, guys, I think I've answered most of your questions about tonight's live. I I hope that you understand my theories and where I come from, and kind of where my investigations come from. I'm going to be working on this other thing tomorrow. The other thing I'm working on, I'm supposed to meet with another witness, and I'll be talking to her tomorrow. But I am going to try to get out and get that film for y'all to show you the area that I'm in, and try to, show you maybe why it is a hot spot, all the coal mines around here and everything that's going on. So y'all say you want to see it, I'll get out and get that for you. I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to say another 30 days. I should have the other film out, the other video out. And I believe, like what Calvin said, it's going to blow your minds when we release what we actually have. Y'all are going to be proud. You'll be proud to be part of this channel when it comes out, because we're going to show something nobody else has figured out, solved, or even come close to what we have within about 50 years. So it's going to blow the minds of a lot of people. Hey, for all the people that joined the channel and has been joining the channel and that are new members and everything, I appreciate each and every one of you. The Cryptid Huntress, go check her out. Jessica's awesome. She's got a good channel. She usually runs 2 channels sometimes. I've seen her on Spaced Out Radio too. She's a very busy lady. She has a lot of knowledge. Very nice, very respectful, easy to be on her show. She's a great host. Go check her out. Support her. She's a really good person. I'm going to jump off here, guys. Go check the weather, see what's going on. I just put a video out on my other channel, Wide Open Adventures. It's an Easter video. If you'd like to check it out, you can go over and check it out. It's my little boy hunting eggs. We've done a cookout and everything. He'd love to see y'all check his channel out and join. He checks the numbers on it all the time. We're going to be doing fishing and stuff on there coming up here pretty soon. So if you'd like to check it out, we'd love to have you over there too. You can spend even more time with us. But hey, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. God bless you guys. Be safe tonight. Till next time, keep your head on a swivel and definitely don't be something's dinner. And Calvin, thank you for moderating tonight and for all the information you've given. And each and every one of you, the Abnormal family, we'll see you on the next one.